Hello family, welcome to BabsWTV where we talk about real life, real struggle and what happening around the world. Man, these jobs are not paying enough, to be honest. These jobs are not paying enough these days. To be honest, a lot of people are struggling right now, working overtime, not having time to enjoy their life, not having time to be home, be there with their family or whatever could be inspired, use their dream or whatever. But it's impossible in America right now. You have to work two jobs, three jobs. How we get here in America today? Tell me, how we get here? This is going too far now, really. Like we have to do something as all American. We have to do something because there is no way people gonna keep on working two, three jobs forever and not be able to sustain themselves. No, eventually people gonna get rage, mad. That's why you see so many road rage, anger these days. So many things easily people freaked out because people are not making money. We need to figure out something. Let me know down below the comment how you feel. If you are one of those people, let me know down below though how you feel, and subscribe, share, and see you for next time.
Bro, how are people making it? The money that jobs are paying can't compete with the cost of living. People say don't live outside your means. People can live inside their means, and you still can't survive on what's being paid. Once you pay your bills, you're in the red for the month. And that's not going out enjoying yourself. That's just working, going home, and then paying bills. That in itself is not fair. Life is not supposed to be about just working to pay for a home that's the only place you can go. You can't go out, you can't go on vacation, work and home and barely make it. That's not right. Do the math on your bills compared to what you make. Let me know in the comments. Please share this out. Please follow. Please hit the like button.
Now I'm gonna keep it a stack with y'all, bro. Like, y'all can take things personal if y'all want to. Y'all can feel how y'all feel. But at the end of the day, bro, it's really just a earning problem. Like, if a job is telling you, well, not necessarily telling you, but if a job is paying you a certain amount of money per hour, that's what they feel that your job is worth. And it's kind of sad, bro, because you're always going to have people say, well, get a job, work a job. Let's just keep it a stack and say, get a job that is going to pay you a good amount of money so that you're not just in survival mode. Because when you put in so many hours of your life into these jobs and you're left with barely making it, is literally not a good feeling.
We just found out that you have to make $66 an hour as a minimum wage in order to have the buying powers that boomers had in the 1970s. This generation has to work more than the previous generations, and we have nothing to show for it. No house, no savings, no investments, no retirement, no nothing. We're just working just to barely survive. And life costs more than what we get paid.
Corporate America is a complete scam, and I don't know why more people aren't talking about this. Working a 9 to 5, 5 days a week is literally life draining. It is taking the life out of you. Like, how do you have time to do literally anything? Grocery shopping, doctor's appointments? Like, you're not living life, you're living life to work, which is ridiculous. And you absolutely have to have a budget. You have to know where your money is going. I have to budget through the Mine app, or I would know where none of my money is going. Anyways, if you have a 9 to 5, get out of it. It's a scam.
And one more thing, y'all. If you think that the president, the government, if you think that they care about you, me, any of us, they don't. Because their sole purpose is to get the American people to suffer, bruh. This is why we get taxed so much money as a W-2 worker. This is why, like I said, these jobs, they don't pay. Who the fuck is about to pay somebody $15 an hour, bro? That's not livable. 20, not livable. Not livable wages, bro. Look at how much it is after your tax. Look at how much it is if you're not even getting overtime. Just look, okay? It's not livable. It's not sustainable. They don't care about us. We gotta learn how to care about ourselves, bro. That's just what it is. We gotta always remember, nobody's coming to save us, bro. Nobody.
And all the jobs that we need in America don't pay anything. Like, as a, almost college graduate, I'm looking at the job market and there's a few industries I would never get into. Like kids, teachers, like anything that has anything to do with kids, like civil liberties, activism, you're not getting paid. You're not getting paid. Social work, old people, you're not getting paid. You're not getting paid unless you're stealing from them, for real. Like, what is that about? Is that just America or?
Yo, it's crazy how a lot of these jobs really don't be paying, bro. And they expect people to slave, like, all right. It's crazy, like, these corporate jobs, bro, they don't want to pay nobody, bro. They don't want to pay nobody, and then wonder why people getting capped off, bro. This world is wicked, bro. They don't want to pay nobody out here, bro. It's crazy. Wicked.
This is a really stupid argument. You know that half the jobs in America pay less than $50,000 a year. Half the jobs in America. So obviously there aren't that many great jobs. Now luckily I'm one of the people who makes quite a bit more than that. But if all the people who make less than 50K can just all of a sudden go find a better job, who's going to do all those jobs? Who's going to stock the store shelves? Who's going to wash dishes at the restaurants? Who's going to be your bartender? Who's going to be the guy working at McDonald's? See, there aren't that many great jobs. So even if everyone was the hardest worker on the planet, somebody still has to do the shitty jobs. Those jobs should still pay a livable wage because we need those jobs in society. I want the guy making my burger to be able to survive. That's not that hard of a concept. Like, I don't want anyone to be struggling to pay their bills because they're not going to do an efficient job if they're freaked out struggling to pay their bills. I don't know why this is such a fucking hard concept for people. Every job that is required should pay enough to survive.
A dream job? A dream job. So you mean to tell me it's a dream having your salary capped? You're not making any more, you're not making any less. It's a dream to work under someone for the rest of your fucking life. It's a dream to only get 2 weeks off a year. It's a dream to slave all the way to work and then only have like 5 hours each night for yourself. And that's if you're lucky. That's if you don't work in fucking banking. It's a dream to work like 9 hours a day and never see your friends or family. It's a dream to have HR breathing down your neck and watching your every fucking move. It's a dream not being able to save a dime at the end of the month because your entire salary goes to everything except yourself. And you're basically just existing. You have $0 in the bank. Zero. It's a dream to kiss somebody's ass just for the potential of your salary being raised. It's a dream having your mediocre salary taxed over 50%. I mean, we can't be serious. Like, is any of this even fucking, like, this genuinely, this is literally the reality of America. Like, and we all choose to fucking be blind. Like, let's all fucking wake up, people. That's not a fucking dream. That's a fucking nightmare. Call it what it is. It's a fucking nightmare. Sorry.
For as much as Americans work every week, you would think we would have better shit. Like, on average, Americans work far more during the week than any other developed nation. So the question really is, why don't we have good shit? Countries like Spain have healthcare for all of its citizens, robust social programs, a transport system that works pretty well. So where is our money going? The obvious and most easy answer is that somebody is stealing it. And I'll give you a hint, it's not the immigrants doing it. For as much as Americans work every week, you would think we would have better shit. Like, on average, Americans work far more during the week than any other developed nation. So the question really is, why don't we have good shit? Countries like Spain have healthcare for all of its citizens, robust social programs, a transport system that works pretty well. So where is our money going? The obvious and most easy answer is that somebody is stealing it. And I'll give you a hint, it's not the immigrants doing it.
Why can't we get by in this country anymore just working one fucking job, like our parents and grandparents did? But when did survival become a group project? Everybody's so quick to yell, just work harder, grind more, pick a side hustle. But the real question is, why the hell should we have to? Why is one full-time job no longer enough to afford food, rent, and peace of mind? Why are we working 50, 60 hours a week away from our families and, still checking our bank apps like we committed a crime? Why is owning a home now treated like some luxury fantasy instead of the bare minimum of our parents achieved with a high school diploma and a single paycheck? Why are people forced to DoorDash after 10-hour shifts just to afford eggs, gas, and maybe prescription medicine, maybe even diapers? Why do people celebrate people working for themselves into exhaustion, but shame them for admitting they're struggling? Why do we keep pretending this is normal? You shouldn't need a second job to just keep your head above water. You shouldn't have to burn out just to barely get by. Why is everything rising except our wages? This isn't laziness. This isn't lack of ambition. I mean, this is like a system designed to drain you and convince you that it's your fault. I mean, it's not your fault. You're not behind. We're being buried alive and then told to be grateful for the dirt.
Okay, so isn't the point of working a full-time job? I mean, that's 40 hours a week or higher, right? That's half of your life, right? Isn't the point of that to make enough money to sustain your bills, to save money, to go on vacation, to afford things that you normally wouldn't be able to afford? But you have a full-time job, so you should be able to afford all that stuff, right? Wrong. Approximately 32% of American households report that their income falls behind their expenses, while nearly 70% live paycheck to paycheck. Roughly 40% of adults find it difficult to cover typical monthly household bills, with many having less than $1,000 in savings to bridge the gap. So is expecting your full-time job to pay all of your bills, is that some sort of luxury request? Because I think if you're a full-time worker, that means you're dedicating half of your life to work. That, my friends, should cover everything. That should cover your bills. It should cover your health care. It should cover everything. And you should have more than $1,000 in savings after all of that to live and sustain your life in America. And by the way, this is not a political post, okay? Everybody in this country that works full-time, I don't care if you're, a postal worker, or you're navigating planes out on the airport, or you're, a Microsoft employee. Everybody, if you're working full-time, you should be able to afford every single one of your bills. And for all of you out there that think people like me, middle-class, middle-wage workers, should be working on holidays and serving you lattes at Starbucks on Christmas Day while you go out and hang out with your family, shame on fucking you, because this is not the way America should be set up. It should be set up equally for everybody. America first. You work a full-time job. You should be able to pay every damn one of your bills.
My favorite part about living in the United States is that we get to work longer and harder hours for goods and services that are decreasing in their quality. And we just get to do that over and over again. And I love it here.
These guys who are like, why are you mad at me because I don't pay my employees a living wage? I'm a job creator. That's the same energy as like if you're dating a guy and he's like, why are you mad at me? I remembered that your birthday is in August.
The reason minimum wage going up would be good for literally everybody, even the people that are mad about it, is pretty straightforward, honestly. The people I see complaining about it were like, well, I work at this job here and I only make $25 an hour, and they want the minimum wage workers to make $25 an hour. Yeah, they deserve enough money to be able to buy food too. But the thing is, it's only going to help you. So imagine you work at a sales job. Everybody who gets hired in at like base level, warehouse workers, sales staff, cashiers, they now make $25 an hour. You were an assistant manager. You weren't making you were making $23 an hour. Well, now you make $25. That's the same pay as the bottom, entry levels. No, they have to raise it. They have to. Because who would take a manager position and make the exact same amount of money as people who have like 1/10 of the responsibility? To be competitive, they'd have to raise that amount. And it trickles up. If you're working medicine, if you work in some sort of like hospital and they're only paying you $22 an hour, and then suddenly the minimum wage is $25, they would have to raise your pay. Because no one's going to work at a hospital and work all those crazy shifts and those extra hours and being on call when they could just head down to Walmart and have a way easier job for the exact same money. The reason that you get paid more than a minimum wage worker now is because your skills are more valued. They would still be more valued the scale just changes. So if you have years of experience over somebody, so if you have additional education, training, degrees over other people, then your skills are more valued and you would also get more money. You would have leverage at interviews. You would have leverage at your yearly reviews. You would have leverage to raise your income, because if the person at McDonald's, the person who was cleaning floors is making $25 an hour, and they say, well, we can offer you $27. I'm like, no. Because I've been a manager, and I'm just going to let y'all know up front, you'd have to give me a lot more money than the people below me to get me back in that position. It is stressful. It is unthankful. It is the worst job I've ever had, is being stuck in middle management, and $2 an hour is not worth my sanity. And don't be one of the people asking, well, how will they afford it if we make the pay go up? And 6 years of record profits. I think they have it in the budget. The top 1% of this country have gained about $13 trillion in net worth in the last 3 years. There's money.
America is a work until you die country. I just had a conversation with an individual because I'm looking for jobs, and this individual had my resume, and they were asking me, what is this gap here from this month to this month? That's when I was traveling, right? That's when I was actually experiencing life. So I took about 6 months and I traveled the year of 2025, and I told them this, right? I elaborated, and they go, interesting. And then when they were kind of reading back to me what I had said, they described it as a hiatus. I didn't really know. I've heard the word. I didn't really know the exact definition. I Google it. So it's a break or a pause in something, right? That's the loose definition. Can you explain to me how stepping away from the matrix, from the system, from this god-awful corporate nonsense country that we live in, to actually experience real life for just like 6 months out of my 27 years, they describe it as a hiatus, a break or pause in what? In what? Being an employee, being a worker ant? Like, that's how they view it. They view like doing real life things as hiatuses, as a break or a pause from the real timeline. These individuals are twisted. It's not their fault per se, but they're grown adults that are just so warped because of the system that they grew up in and could never figure it out, that this is wrong, this is unhuman, this is bizarre. Like, that's bizarre. You're bizarre. I'm not bizarre. I'm trying to be healthier. You're bizarre.
It sounds like a skill issue is the most disrespectful thing that people say to hardworking Americans working 40, 50 hours a week in an essential job. When there's somebody who wakes up at 6 o'clock in the morning, takes care of their children, gets them off to school, commutes 1 hour, works for 8 hours, and then is in the parking lot at 6:30 at night making a video because they don't know how they're going to afford groceries or paying their rent, and you're saying it sounds like a skill issue, if they don't like the job, they should quit and do something else. What do you say to all the essential workers, the construction workers, the grocery store workers, the medical receptionists, the 911 operators, the truck drivers, the delivery drivers, the warehouse workers, the starting firefighters, the starting off police officers, the EMTs, all these folks that if they said fuck it, the whole world would crumble. But a lot of these folks make $40,000 to $60,000 and they're struggling right now because the cost of living is so fucking high. What is your solution for the pull yourself up by your bootstrap people as a nationwide solution? Would you like, if you had control for the day, you want all construction workers to quit, you want all 911 operators to quit, you want all maintenance and caregivers to, you want all these people to quit and get into wholesaling, real estate, become a YouTuber? That's what you want people to do? Like, I'm genuinely asking. I'm not trying to come off facetious. But when you say, well, just start a business, just get into sales, on an individual level, yes, those are high paying. Give it a shot. But then you also have the math. It's called the top 10% for a reason. 100 people that give it a shot, only 10 are going to make it. And of the 90, maybe a lot of them don't want to do that. Maybe they want to be a caregiver. Maybe they want to do this job. And it just so happens the job they love pays $47,000 a year, which used to be enough. That used to be enough. So please, stop calling these people lazy, entitled, complaining, and worst of all, a skill issue. No.
So I keep saying, if the price of everything keeps going up and our salaries do not match this, then what is the end goal here? What are these corporations expecting people to do? Because at some point, we are just not going to have money for housing and food. And it's not like you're just spending all this money on frivolous things. No, 25% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, buying only essential things. So what are these corporations planning on doing? Well, the fact of the matter is they don't plan for the economy. They only plan for future profits. So they literally don't see a problem here because because they are making more money than they've ever made before. Now, one of the things I see all the time is we need to literally quit buying things. Well, that would be great, except for the things that we need to boycott are our food. Like, we cannot boycott food. And the problem is these corporations and billionaires have enough money that they can literally let us starve out until we break every single time. Now, one of the suggestions for this is, people need to just start buying from farms or making their own gardens. And that would be fantastic, except for a shitload of people live in cities and don't have that ability. Not only that, but the majority of the massive farms are owned by corporations. So if they stop getting money, they will no longer be able to have fuel to grow the items, and it will just turn into a giant economic crisis where millions of people are going to starve out. Now, one of the reasons we've got to this point so far is because of consumerism, which isn't actually a bad thing. The bad thing about consumerism is whenever you do not have a government that will stop companies from forming major monopolies, which they do. Consumerism in general is a great idea. People go out and buy things. This leads to more jobs, more development, more innovation, and then people live a better life. But it falls apart whenever these giant companies start making a monopoly out of everything and literally get rid of every kind of quality there is in these products, leading to a short shelf life of anything where people have to keep buying the same item over and over and over. So do these corporations even give a fuck that you're literally not going to be able to afford to live? No, they don't give a shit. They're already filthy rich, and the only thing they're concerned about is making more profit. So anyways, yay for an oligarchy. It's great. Okay, have a great day. Bye.